Well, having a happy and perfect marriage or relationship is the dream of every couple or every or people in relationship. In case you want that, then you are in the right place. Maisha Prime Women Talk, where real women engage. And with me, I have two guests. We have Irene Mbobushebi, a counselor, pastor. She is a mother and also she is a wife. We also have Sarah Murithi, a counselor as well, a mother, a wife, and also she is a church leader. You can engage with us: Facebook, YouTube, Maisha Television Kenya, Instagram, Twitter at Maisha TV KE. Much appreciation for those who have been following us on our social media platforms. Thank you for those who have subscribed to our YouTube channel, Maisha Television Kenya, and continue sending your feedback. We've been talking about marriage, and we've tackled a number of issues. And in our last program, I remember we talked about some of the factors that lead to marriage breaking. And the issue that really touched our viewers is the issue of infidelity. Ukiangalia watu wengi sana inaonekana like people are not faithful in their marriages. So karibu sana Irene and Sarah.
Thank you.
You look amazing. Let me start with that.
You too.
Thank you.
And you too. I don't know how you're looking like, but I believe so.
Yes, Sarah. I want to view before we begin the show.
I want to appreciate them. I want to welcome them to this show. And it's my prayer that whatever you're going to share, it is going to help shape their marriages. And if they are at the point of breaking, they're going to come back together. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, just stay tuned. We are here for you. Thank you.
Well, so as Sarah said, we hope that at the end of this program, you will get something that will help strengthen your marriage or will encourage you to keep going despite the journey being tough. Mm-hmm. So last week we talked about infidelity in marriage, and today I will tackle some of the issues from our viewers, those who send their messages inbox on Facebook. And Moja alisema, kindly give us some of the reasons for infidelity. What causes people to cheat? Mm-hmm. Let's start with Sarah, then Irene.
The causes of people cheating, one is dissatisfaction with one another.
Yes.
Could be not satisfied with the way conjugal rights are happening in the bedroom. Mm-hmm. Another reason would be curiosity. You want to find out from another person, is it the same as with your person? Mm-hmm. So you're going to cheat. Another reason, like I said, that people get involved with other people, not their spouses, is because of the breakage in communication. And he said that marriage, the key is communication. Mm-hmm. And remember when God founded marriage, when he created a woman for Adam, he created a woman for companionship. Mm-hmm. And companionship will give friendship. We become friends, we talk to one another. Mm-hmm. If I'm stressed out there, I come to my spouse, we talk. If he's stressed, he come and we talk. But now if we come into the house, I'm not talking. And when I get out there, I'm going to get somebody else who's going to give me a listening ear. Mm-hmm. So I'll be going to pour out my issues to this other person. And the more you share with your friend or this person that now you become friends, one thing tends to lead to another thing. Mm-hmm. So those, I can say, are the issues that make people to become unfaithful. And remember, infidelity is being unfaithful physically or emotionally. Mm-hmm. It's not just like adultery. No, adultery is just the physical part of it. Mm-hmm. But infidelity, it is physical or emotionally. Mm-hmm. Whereby emotionally you are not attached to your spouse, but you are attached to somebody else. Yeah. Whereby all your feelings you share with this person, all your anger you share with this person, all your joy you share with this person. Mm-hmm. Do not be physically connected, but already you are unfaithful on that part. Mm-hmm. And physically is now where you go ahead and not cement your relationship with this other person, is not your spouse. Yes. Now, those are the reasons I can say that make us tend to go out or to be unfaithful to our spouse. Another thing is revenge. I caught you. Hata mimi unajua naweza fanya hivyo. So somebody goes out so that you can revenge. And instead of revenging, I would rather you forgive instead of revenge, because two wrongs does not make Right. So those are the reasons.
Yeah, just basing on what Sarah has just been saying is that you get to find that infidelity is kind of, I can stay with you, but there's somebody else who matters a lot, you know? And so we find lack of love here, because you can't sacrifice for this person. In case there is anything that really is touching you, there's somebody else you want to share with, you see. So the most important thing is that sometimes we get into these marriages without the love bit of it. We are not connected in any way, and so I can't sacrifice for you. And then as the gap draws bigger, you find that there's something that is now literally missing, and that is when now adultery will eventually come in, you see, the physical bit of it now. So it gets from the emotional part of it up to now the physical thing that I now do, and then now Sarah's come in with, revenge. You see, you've done this, I'm now gonna do this. And that's where she's stepping in to say that, what you need to do here is now rather forgive than go ahead and do the same thing, you see, because as we say, the two wrongs will never make a right. It means we are going to continue in the wrong thing, and then ultimately we'll not have this marriage stick. And then another thing in reason for infidelity is not being open to one another. We don't tell each other, the exact thing that is happening with me, or those things that ever happened in my life. And this person now, we are like we are together, but we are not, because there are things that when this person will get to know, then it means the trust, everything that is there will never be there again. You see, so infidelity definitely just comes in. So if we just talk about what Sarah has said and the two that I've added, that is love and not being open, where we get to now lack of intimacy, you see, we are getting to the broader picture of this marriage now can't stick together. And you look at the points that we've given, you find that many marriages are floating in there. So many people, we don't tell each other the truth. And then again find that we have other people that we share with, other things that we feel are supposed to be shared with those people, and maybe not your spouse. Thinking that, like many people say, I don't know, it's said what in Kiswahili, don't be open to your spouse too much. They might know you much. But I'm getting to find, I don't know if it is here we are talking about this, that, the two were naked and they didn't have no shame, I know who you are, I know everything about you, but still I've accepted it's you, you see. So when this comes in, you find that it becomes a little bit easier for us to handle everything. Because when you see something starting to get close to this person, unakumbuka kwamba huyu huwa akona hii shida. Pengine amekwambia mimi nina shida na the girls. When I see a girl around, I'll have to check. Yes. Yeah, so if you see that, you'll know kuna shida imeanza kuingia hapa, and then you'll close the gap, si ndio? But if you're not told, utashindwa, utakuwa unashindwa, umekaa hapo kando unashindwa. Na huwa anaangalia hivi aje. And those questions, because there's nobody who's going to answer them, and you're also like, siezi enda tu nikamuuliza that question. There's something that maybe you'll want to do that will distract his attention, and eventually this thing is going to make you not be the two spouses that you are when you are coming in. Because hapo tu utapata pengine sasa ukiambiwa watu songe ukae karibu na yeye utaki, you are moving away, na yeye pia atatoka hapo, pengine aende hiyo meeting ishi hapo. You see, pengine you went for a baby whatever, housewarming or something like that, mtatoka hapo kila mtu alitoka peke yake. And at the end of it, what happens, ule alibaki hapa ama ule alienda, what is happening for these two people? There's something that is in there. So infidelity just starts small as that, and that's why we are saying every little bit of a thing in a marriage, before we even get into this, we should start dealing with it rather than just letting it go. Because wakati mwingi huwa tuna overlook, nasema hai ni kitu kidogo, I'll just work on it. No, there are those things that you cannot just work on them. And especially when it comes to marriage, make sure that you handle every tidbit of issues that are coming up in your marriage.
And also another thing is for provision or material things. You'll find that maybe you want something that your partner does not provide. Maybe money, or remember the other time a celebrity came out and said that she had different men in her life, and kulikuwa na wanywele, kulikuwa na wagari, kulikuwa na nguo, kulikuwa na nails, as in kila mtu ana kazi yake. So I can say that also that can be some of the reasons for infidelity. So thank you for that. That what are some of the signs that my partner is cheating on me?
signs. One sign is when your partner does not wish to go with you out anymore. For example, you used to go out, and then could be one day he tells you, today we are having a meeting, or we are going out with friends, but today you're not included. Today you can remain behind. That is one of telling you your company is no longer wanted, because there's something that I'm doing and I don't want you to find out. And again, if he begins coming home late, if he was an early comer, and then he begins coming late and he's not even giving you the reason, no, there's something that is not going on, because if that time used to come, and if he was to get late, he used to call you, and this time Rod isn't calling you, or there's a question mark that is, you should wake up and ask yourself why. So whatever you are doing initially, and then it begins stopping slowly by slowly, you should know something is wrong. And if you start being compared with Jane, until you have not met, or the story rotates on Jane, and before they're not rotating on Jane, there is something that you should start not getting worried about. And if he's spending so much time, his free time, he's not with you. He's just somewhere where you don't know, but when you call, you are told, I'm stuck on a jam. If your area has got so many vehicles, or I've gone to pass by my friend, well, okay, what I'm saying, Chebet Irene, is this. Those things you are doing together when you are such a wonderful couple, before that party came in, and that party can be anything, and now it has stopped being your routine, there is a question mark. It can tell you a lot. Or the next time he comes in drunk and wasn't drinking,
Yeah, sure.
he could have had a company of a younger girl who want to be pleased. And because he doesn't want to leave her and he's told you must drink, what will he do? He just drink. Then could be washing his clothes. And then you find an earring, you just maskio, but it is a sign. Could be that girl put it there for you to know now this man is being owned. Others who come with the lipstick, they don't even know that they have the lipsticks on their shirts, because it is a sign that is being set. So there are so many signs that you can tell. And mostly I'm saying, if you are this tight, and then all of a sudden the tightness has begun being created, there's not that now connection that was there, na umeanza kuonewa tu makosa yenye uko unaonea hapo mbele. So ukifanya kitu ashakuwa nini, eager very fast. Ask yourself why. He could be going now out, somebody else could be with him and is pushing him to leave you, so that it can be solely together. And you already a gap, or you already a some that, because first wives to be for a man to leave a first wife, it takes a lot of energy and a lot of time to separate these two. So if you see a man comes in one day and with something unusual, there must be something, and start finding out before it is too late. But when you catch him cheating, don't go to cheat because he has cheated on you. Don't start telling me I want a divorce. And normally say, hakuna makosa tuwezi tukasamehea. That's true. We can forgive all sins. And could be to be the turning point of this man who is cheating, or this woman who is cheating.
What we are saying here is, when you see the trend changing, something that has been the trend, and now all of a sudden it's getting out of the way. Yeah, so this is a big sign that things are not well. So you need to jump into action, and jumping into action does not mean that you do something that people will regret. This means you start checking out what is wrong, what is maybe that I'm also doing different that I used not to do, that I need to come back to what it used to be. So these are questions that can only be asked by somebody who is sober. If you start seeing things are getting to a different direction, and then you also become drunk, Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, unalewa na mambo vile imeanza kubadilika, you will not get the source of this. But if you want to get to change, and that is where now the love comes in, because once you love somebody, you'll realize that there's something that is not getting out right, but we can work on it. Maybe he's pushed into this unknowing. Umejua saizi, the time we are living in, there are those women, or there are even men, I'm told, who will take you away with charms. And you'll know, if you're this person who is very fast, if you're the spouse and you're very fast, umejua badala ya kusaidia huyu mtu, tutakuwa tunamuumiza zaidi. Because he's being pulled on the other end, wewe pia unampush na kumpull at the same time. So what will happen? Huyu mtu utapata anakatikia katikati. So this is why we are getting so many things happening today that were not supposed to happen. So when you see some of these things happening that we are saying today, make sure that you know how to get into action. Don't just get there. I'm trying to solve a problem before even answering the question. But yet still, I think Sarah has tried to delve into it a little bit. Talking of, that distance that you're starting to see, it will come automatically kwa sababu kuna mtu anajaribu kumpeleka the different direction. And maybe there are reasons why. Now that's why I'm saying, ukiona mambo kama haya yanaanza kutendeka, start with you. A good change starts with me. You see, so start with you and see, is there something that I used to do that now I'm not doing? Because this person used not to behave like this. Why is it that the person is behaving like this? So there might be something that you've just changed also. So as we are talking about the trend changing, it means it might have started with you unknowingly. Yes. And because this person noticed this, they started drifting away. And in that, they ended up in somebody else's hands. So when you get to also realize this, and that is why we are saying communication is very key in a marriage. When you even notice this, that is the other spouse, why didn't you ask? And now this other second spouse that is also realizing this, why are you not also trying to find out? You see, because if we just jump into action the way we are saying, and you really don't know what's happening, then you'll find that we are going to break this marriage when it was not supposed to be broken, but it was supposed to be mended. I remember Sarah saying something that, when you even forgive somebody or you help them to come out of a certain character that they are having, then it might be a turning point for this person. It is something that maybe they were doing, and it is because they were lacking something. And when you bring them back by forgiving them, they'll see the reason why they need to come back to their marriage. Yeah. You see, so that distance thing, the change of everything that used to happen in a different way, happening differently. We know of even finances. You used to have this person who they would bring their finances together so that they do something. All of a sudden, this person has changed. Yes, kuna hizo siku hizi wanaita girls night out, is it ladies yeah, and men's whatever. So you start seeing these things are so much, every time intakana muwe na yeye ameenda kwa the girls or the boys. Sasa inakuwa ngumu wewe kuenda. Why is it that they want somewhere where they are alone? Something is happening, and this is the time when you used to spend together. Sasa inabidi here aenda spend peke yake. Kwa hivyo when you see such things starts coming in, then find a way of working into them rather than just trying to do something ambayo ita spoil. Because when our viewer is talking about the signs, I know these signs we will give them to you, but if you also don't know how to handle them, you will even break this marriage when you are not supposed to break it. Yes, you should know the signs, but once you've seen the signs, then the way you're going to work up the signs should be very different. You should approach it in a different or in a sober way. Yeah. And
I've liked what you said about the change begins with us. In case you see something unusual happening to your marriage, you should first of all sit down and interrogate yourself. Ask yourself, why is this happening? What have I done that is pushing that person away? You should start with yourself. Maybe you're the reason why. Because my next question is related to that. Sometimes women force men to cheat because of their behaviors, attitude, nagging, and how they treat men. Please talk about that too.
Yeah, which is very true. And I say very true because I remember the question that we were tackling last time: can my behavior make my husband cheat on me? And we said yes, behavior can make a man cheat on you. And we agree that behavior is learned. And can be relearned and unlearned. So if you are this type of woman, every time you are partying with your friends, you got married, but do not detach yourself from what you are doing when you are single. And now you are into the marriage institution. So you are behaving like your spouse isn't there. Aren't you pushing him further away from you? Aren't you pushing him to go and look for somebody who can give comfort? If you are the type of woman, your talking is quarreling. When akifanya tu makosa kidogo, instead of sitting down and reasoning down together, you start shouting, you start quarreling like a young boy, yet he is not a son, he is a husband, the head of the home, the royal priest of that house. And men don't like that makelele, let me tell you, they don't like it. So if you're not giving peace where there should be peace, of course, he's going to look for that peace somewhere else. And that is how you find that where the families that are not doing well in terms of the spouse, there's an excuse, and I'm calling it an excuse, that men will give. I'd rather be in the bar with the barmaids because they'll understand me, they'll listen to me, they are good.
They are even making too much noise, I believe.
The barmaid? Yeah, but for a man, give that excuse, give that excuse. When I go there stressed and I want to talk, she'll listen to me. And as I say, it is an excuse. Because I believe if you can train your wife to reason with you, she can also listen to you, and she can reason with you. So women, anytime you are angered by your spouse, before you talk immediately, hold your breath. Hold your breath. You know, we are women. I don't know how to talk. I don't know how to attack and where to attack. Penye tu itapenya kwa roho ili asikia ameumwa jinsi ninavyo umwa. Tit for tat. This is a fair game. But let us not go for tit for tat. Let us go for how we can reason. So if you are that woman, umeweka marafiki mbele na mume wako nyuma, of course you push him now again to go where he can look for that comfort. Somebody who is going to listen to him. If you're that type of woman, every time you cannot solve your differences, you must call your mother or your sister or a friend. Again, you're also pushing him away because he is losing, or he's losing trust in you because you're sharing his secrets with a third party. And we agree that maneno ya nyumbani ikuwe ya nyumbani, isiwe ya huku nje. So how you handle your man, it is either going to push him out or bring him in. And it is good that we assess ourselves because Chebetarin, everybody knows her weaknesses and her strong points. If you, my viewer, you know you as a woman, you are the type, ukiingia kwa rafiki, unaona amenunuliwa sofa set ya kimataifa, naona edo nabia bwanako, nilikuwa kwa Sara nikaona ile sofa set na kalia, pia mimi nataka kama hiyo. So you are stressing your husband because one, you know his income and you know he cannot afford such. So when you start pushing him that I want this, I want things, again what are you doing to him? You are pushing him away. If you're the kind of woman who discusses your husband with your children, aren't you also pushing him away? There are these small things I arrange a bet we do, and we think that they are right because could be my spouse is it talking about it. And then you don't know that you are hurting him. And I talked about personality. There are those people who talk, those who will not talk. There are those who know, let me wait and say that it is going to change. People change because they are told whatever you are doing is wrong. So we're going to talk. We're going to communicate. So that this tabia that we have is not going to push our men away. If you are that church woman, we are church women. So, but we don't spend all the time in the church. We balance. So you cannot tell me that because you are saved or you are church leader, that every time you're in your pastor's house or every time you are in the church praying, even praying in your house, God will hear those prayers because the Bible tells us we pray every time and always. So meaning even hata ukitembea barabarani na uombe Mungu atasikia hayo maombi. So you cannot neglect your husband and you are saying that it is because of the church. You must balance. Kama ni kesha, you cannot go for kesha from Friday to Monday. Just take one day to go for a kesha and let him know that I've gone for a kesha and let him know it's a genuine kesha. So
in fact, in the church we are told from God you get to your spouse.
Yes.
Then the ministry comes third, you know, if anything. So you can't tell us that wewe una hofu Mungu kisha unaingia kwa ministry. Umepoteza hii. And you know with God is funny. When you break one of them, it's like you've broken the rest. Hata yeye ni kama sasa hakuna kitu unamfanyia. So when you get to church, we will teach you. And so I think that excuse will not be there. You will not be telling us it is the church.
It is the church.
The church has no problem.
Yeah, because and that's why we are telling you, if you are that type who says it is the church should not break a marriage.
And in fact, again, I want to add there for the women, the pastors women. Wale wa mama umeajiri hapo kwako, hata si kuajiriwa, they come. Akikuja kwako mwambie aende afanye kazi kwake kwanza, atakuja kukutembelea baadaye. Hii mambo ya watu wameamkia asubuhi na wamefika kwa pastor, wanaenda kumop, wanaenda kuosha vyombo na nani aliwaambia? You have to deal with your home first. If you come to my place, my friend, I know washirika wangu wananiangalia. Malizana na kwako na mume wako awe amekuwa satisfied. Kama hayuko satisfied usikuje kwangu. Don't come. I'm telling you outright. Don't come. Because how do you come to my place na umewacha mume wako ako stuck mahali? Yeye ndiye anasijui osha manguo, wewe umekuja kuosha nguo zangu. Just go back, wash nguo zako
na apike chai.
Yes, watoto wa pastor. By the way,
ashafanya yake. Kwa sababu wakati uko kwa pastor, huyu mume wako ujui naye ameenda kutafuta pastor yupi wapi. Na wapi. It's so true. Our viewers, we are telling you this. Tabia zetu zisifanye ni za kufanya waume wetu waende wafanye nini? Wakatafute gono huko nje. Because we have everything that they were looking from those other women. So let us not have that tabia yenye itafanya mtu aende nje. Heri aende nje na excuse nyingine lakini senye umemletea. Because hata mbele ya Mungu hauna makosa. Yaje kuna nini? Makosa.
Yeah, okay. When I want to deal with that, they're saying like wamama ndio wanafanya the men go out. Yeah, mdomo and all this stuff. Yeah, yes, I will agree. That's true because for us women, sometimes we really don't know how to handle ourselves well. But one thing I know is that when we come back to now the love that we were talking about, you agreed to marry this woman, most probably ulijua vile anaka. Kwa sababu if you had that courtship thing, you must have realized, kuna wakati anawachilia mpaka unashangaa anaweza ongea mpaka ukatoka tu ukaenda hata janotice umeenda. You realized that before you married this lady. And so if you get into marriage, this is now the critical time where you are supposed to even agree with this even much more. Kwamba isiwe kwamba that is the reason why you are going away. And again, as Sarah was saying, you know, the man is the priest of the home. And as a priest is the one who is supposed to teach people how to deal with everything priesthood is all about, you know. So when we're talking about this, we are saying kama kuna kitu ambayo mke wako anafanya ambayo haienendi sawa na vile unataka, wewe ndio utamfundisha how to do it otherwise. You know, if you say that whenever there is something that she's doing that is wrong and then you run away, my friend, unataka sasa yeye nani amfundishe? Atabaki hivyo hivyo. You see, na utakuwa umeharibu mtu in society kwa sababu hata mkiwachana ataenda kwa mwingine tena ataharibu huko. So what you need to do is ukifind out kwamba huyu mke wako kuna kitu ambayo anafanya is not right, it is your responsibility. And now that is where the love comes in. Because love is about sacrificing for the other. So sacrificing means, yes, she or he is doing what is not right. But what can I do to help him or her? You see? Because I know we sacrifice even for other people out there. Especially even in our places of work or places we are doing business. Unasikia mtu anasema, hey, boss anakuanga hivyo. So you look for a way unto how mtamhandle. Kwa nini usifanye hivyo kwa mke wako ama mume wako nyumbani? Because I believe it's doable. If you can do it to the boss, if you can do it to your business partner, how comes not to your spouse? So the sacrifice is always there, and that is why we are told that the basis of every marriage is love. And love, as we've repeated, is about sacrifice. So if you see there is something that they are doing that is not what is supposed to be, then the responsibility of the man is to make sure that atatafuta mbinu na njia. And because you are the authority in this home, there is how we also delegate that authority. And you cannot delegate authority to somebody kama haujamtrain. Are you saying that? So that is where all the messes also come in. Because you find the men would want to delegate the authority in terms of, okay, maybe what's happening within the home, but they've not trained these women on what they need them to do so that they give them the authority. Maybe, or let's say, for example, maybe the president, he cannot leave the country and say, I'm giving it, or I'm giving the mandate to so and so, na hajamwambia nini ya kufanya. atarudi atapata inchi imehama imeenda inchi ingine. You see, so that is what we are saying. So if you are in your home as a man and maybe this woman is doing things that are not right, ile authority uko nayo, jaribu sana kuweka this woman in that level of authority, kwa sababu you are one now, you see. So if she is not doing the right thing, then train her on what she needs to do. Ili kwamba hata kama hautakuwa, she is like you, you see. And also again, if she's doing things that are not the things that are unbecoming to you, then you can help her so that she can know what to do, you see. So before we start even complaining, there's always something that we can do. It's only that we don't know. And that's why the word of God tells us, tunaangamia kwa kukosa umaarifa na ufahamu. So once you don't know, that's when all these things happen. So for the viewer who was asking about this, yes, it's true. For us women, siwezi washikia nguo mama, najua penye huwa mnatupeleka. Lakini what I'm saying is, it's still the responsibility of this man to make sure that anaweza tame mke wake. Whatever way, jaribu sana kutafuta. Na umejua hii pia inakuja katika the rules that we are given, that, you know, for man it is love, for the woman is submission. And you know these things, love or submission or whatever it is, or respect, it's always like a bouncing ball. You hit the ball, it will come back to you. You give it, you propel it, you see. So for us, ukitaka ile submission ikuje, lazima pia upeane ile love, you see. So that is the force for it to go and then come back to you. Kwa hivyo yeye lazima pia practice what he needs to practice. Though the women, I'm also telling you, it's not that it's out of hand, that hatuwezi kujizuia, tunaweza. Yes,
women, let's avoid nagging. Na hata Biblia inasema in Proverbs 21 verse 9 that better to live on a corner of the roof than share a house with a quarrelsome wife. Naona hili Biblia inatambua. So try as much as possible to avoid quarreling and nagging so much. Wanaume wanachukia hiyo sana. Well, Irene and Sarah dispensing some advices there. We're going for a short commercial break. My name is Rida Karim Chabet, and you're definitely watching the award-winning TV station Maisha Television Kenya. Keep the conversation going. Facebook, YouTube, Maisha Television Kenya, Instagram and Twitter at Maisha TV KE. There is a saying, behind every great man is a great woman. But there is a divide, a gap, a separation. It's about acknowledging the unseen efforts, the disparity, and expectations. Support. What does it mean to have support, to give support, to live without support? It's time that support goes both ways. Because beside every great man is a great woman.
Hii ni stesheni iliyochaguliwa kuwa bora zaidi na kupewa ushindi wa kuza na kitengo cha mawasiliano cha serikali.
And the winner is Maisha TV. Maisha TV.
Stesheni inayokuwa kwa kasi. Stesheni inayokujali mtazamaji.
You can trust the award-winning TV station.
Stesheni inayojali mwananchi wa Kenya.
Biashara imeanza kudidimia sana, unapata customer wanalia.
Stesheni inayotoa mafunzo, maelezo na taarifa kwa kina zaidi.
Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, Millicent Luamba, Maisha Prime News.
For Maisha Prime. For Maisha Prime.
For Maisha Prime Education Segment. For Maisha Prime News.
Hii ni runinga ya Maisha.
Marker, take 3.
We are here to make your day. This is Maisha TV, Of course, the fastest growing TV station and the award-winning channel you can't miss out on educating, entertaining and informative shows. Women Talk, The Drift, Love Honse, S Sample, Sos Me Vida, Masomo News Live, Prime News, Maisha Kids, MTV Summons, music shows, politics, leadership and governance and many more. It's all here. On StarTimes, we are on channel 108, GOTV 808, and all free-to-air decoders. Social media too, as Maisha Television Kenya. You know what? Just choose it, watch it, and love it. This is the place where it all happened. The stories that continue to change our country.
And at present we have got one student who is now at a BBC World Service working.
These are the faces we see.
Business studies.
Is Madam Susan Masaba.
Walter
Usolo, Shem Bilembo.
The voices we hear.
Glad you're tuned in. You're still tuned in to Maisha TV. Now every day here on Maisha Prime News, we air feature from different schools across the country
that have revolutionized societies through education. This is who we are. One channel, one bulletin, Masomo News Live. Join us every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. for Masomo News Live, exclusive to Maisha TV.
Alright, welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. You're watching Maisha Prime Women Talk, where real women engage. My name is Rita Kering Chibet, and I'm not alone in studio. I'm with Sarah Murithi together with Irene Mumbo Bushebi. We are tackling questions from our viewers concerning our previous topic, that is infidelity. We've been talking about some of the factors that lead to marriages to break. Engage with us, keep the conversation going. Facebook, YouTube, Maisha Television Kenya, Instagram and Twitter at Maisha TV KE. You can also text, call or WhatsApp our phone number, which is 0746 999 841. There is another viewer who said that if someone has cheated before, is there a chance that they no, this is not sorry for that. Is this the okay? My partner cheated on me sometime. We have two questions. So the first one is, my partner cheated on me some time back. I forgave him, but that thought has never disappeared. How can I get over it?
Thank you, viewer, for that question, and thank you even for forgiving your husband. Healing takes time, because remember when you catch your spouse having cheated on you, that is a wound that has been inflicted in your mind, in your heart. It's so painful because your faithful is unfaithful. But if you had the heart to forgive, with the time you're going to heal and you're going to forget. And I am sure even the spouse wouldn't wish to go again on that direction. So viewer, don't be worried with the time. I normally say healing takes time. And the best thing about this viewer is she accepted that the husband cheated on her and she forgave him. Not the difficult part is forgetting. And the fear, I'm sure even the fear is there. Labda atafanya hivyo. We just pray and trust and hope that you not go that direction. But like I'm saying, healing will take time, and as it takes time, even forgiving will take its place. Forgetting, because when you heal, you forget. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy to just forgive also and also to forget. I know, and especially when it comes to cheating, because it's like somebody has taken away one of your arms, you know. So because we are told we become one, so it's like a part of you maybe is rotting. You see, so every time you look at it, it's rotten. It's like, but we know that even those people who are having withered hands or something like that, they still carry it around. So what you need to do is to accept that this thing happened, and we thank you for forgiving. That's always a very good basis of now moving on. And I know if you know, sometimes we even don't know what forgiveness is, because we think kama niliwacha tu hiyo jambo vile litendeka niliwachilia hivyo, I'm forgiven. No, it's something like you have to deal with your inner you and tell your inner you that, you know what, this person has messed me up, yes, but I'm deciding that let me see that as a mistake, and so I'm believing that he's never gonna do this again. Yeah, because I trust in him. You see, so once you start working from that point, you find that there's so much that is going to start working within you. And first of all, you'll find the peace that overwhelms you in terms of, umejua jambo kama hilo likitendeka, ukimwona mume wako hivi unasikia ni kama umeskip heartbeat. But once you've forgiven, utapata it's very normal. Ni kama vile umekuwa ukimuona before you even realize that there's something that was going on. So if this is how to really determine if you've really to really find out if you've really forgiven or not, because unajua utakuwa na ile peace ambayo inakusaidia kwamba every time you see him you're like you're at peace. Ile jambo pengine itakuja tu baada sema hey, na kweli huyu ndiye ali, you know. But when you just see him like this, it's not like something that still comes and hits you. Sasa utajua umeforgive in that point. Kwa hivyo kama bado unaona, ukimuona unasikia kuna kitu inakushtua, still need to work out much more. And working out here is not something that is very physical. It's much of a spiritual thing. And when you deal with spiritual matters, if you're somebody who believes in God, I think it will help you even further, because you ask God now to come in and help you take away this. And for us, the word of God says that every burden you have, you give it to God. So this kind of burden, you can give it to God, and then God will carry it away from you. But otherwise, kama unasikia kuna ile mshtuko bado, ujue kuna mahali bado unasikia kama given the chance, I can do what I wanted to do. But I know for forgiveness is, umefika mahali penye unasema hata saizi mtu aniambia ati nimfanye aje, siwezi mfanya chochote kwa sababu nilishamsamehe. You see, and it becomes so easy now to walk the journey of forgiveness, and in doing so utapata vile Sarah alikuwa anasema, the healing process really jumps in, and then the forgetting thing comes in. You see, so itakuwa kitu wenye pengine mtu akukumbushe, ama pengine kutokee jambo close to that ndio utakumbuka. It's not something that ukiona tu mtu naiona whatever happened. Kwa hivyo forgiveness is also something that you have to really know, is it that I've really forgiven ama niliwachilia. Umejua kuna ile ya kusema siulizi mtu kitu, whatever happened imesha happen, wacha hiyo, na umejua bado umeibeba kwa moyo wako. Tunataka ufike mahali penye you've really relieved yourself of this, it's not there. Once you feel it's not there, then umejua umesha forgive totally. Kwa hivyo ukisha forgive hivyo, the room for healing comes in, and then the forgetting thing will also drift in. Kwa hivyo ile mshtuko wa moyo kama bado unapata uko nayo, kuna kitu you need to do something much more. And much more means you have to ask God to help you. And if you ask God, automatically utasikia kuna kapisi kana kujanga ndani. Unasikia tu ni kama hiyo kitu hata kumbe hata ni kama hata haikufanyika. And you know, once that confidence grows in you, itakuwa hata ukimuona akitoka nje, cause ninajua vile nasema kama bado hujaforgive vizuri, ukiona amevaa vizuri anaenda anasema leo anaendaje? Na kwa nini amejichapilia hivyo? You see, you'll still be having those questions. But once you've forgiven totally, you find that hata avae mpaka anakaa kama malaika, you are not worried. Hey, you are looking smart and he's gone, you see. Na utabaki kama umeangalia, you are checking we have Google Map.
Anaenda wapi?
You una follow mtu tu unakaa kama Uber. We will not go that far. So if you see all these things are down the drain, utajua umesame and now you can move this journey. Lakini kama unasikia bado hizo vitu zinakusumbua, maybe you can share with somebody, and when I'm talking about somebody, I'm talking about somebody whom you know anaweza kukusaidia ku walk that journey ya forgiveness, ili kwamba usiwe unakumbuka. Na pia the moment umeforgive mtu, the goodness about forgiveness is ukimforgive huwa hata yeye penye yako, it's like there's something that now walks around with him, like kuna I don't know what that is always, I can't describe it, but what I know is that God takes care of this. Unapata huyu mtu pia anafika mahali penye hata kwa anataka kufanya vile anataka afanye, but kuna ile the control over him because of that forgiveness that you've rendered, because forgiveness comes from God, you see. So once you've done what God wants you to do, God will also will always follow up to see that person is not going back to what he was doing. That's why I usually tell you, please try and forgive. Kwa sababu ukiforgive, you have done what God wanted you to do, and so utakuwa umepeana Mungu nafasi yeye kufanya kazi yake.
If someone has cheated before, is there a chance that they will do so again?
Okay.
May I forgive?
The fear. There is the fear. There is a fear that this person can go back. Okay, there is a likelihood that this person can go back, and there is a likelihood that this person will not go back. Because the question is, what led him into cheating?
Yes.
The circumstances of this cheating. Could be there was a kagala alikuwa anamumezea mate na wameenda party akamdrag. Na unajua Nadis, you see them even hizi soap operas, na anapiga picha na anatumia bibi anaona. Could be that was the circumstances. So he was not sober. No. So that means he was forced into it. So he cannot go back to cheating. You get? But if it is a habitual cheater, you know habitual, Irene and Chebet, habitual, you know them, that today he has cheated on me, and to him is just normal. I do know that habitual cheater has not just begun because you are married to him. It must have begun even when you are courting. But ukaona akinioa si ataacha. Ulimfanya aendelee zaidi. Ungekomesha. There's some things I normally say, attack them right as they are. Ili huyu mtu ajue
tuende.
So usikubali mtu akucheat on in the hope that when you get into the marriage he's going to stop. Ama utakuwa wake utamfanya aache. When something becomes a habit, no, it's like addiction. And now you start fighting addiction, and fighting addiction is not very easy. So the viewer is asking, there is a likelihood yes and no. Kunalingana na the circumstances that has led into cheating.
Yeah, for sure. It's very true. So, the basis of this is like, ni kitu amezoea kufanya ama hii ilimpata tu. Yeah. Kwa hivyo kama ni mtu amezoea kufanya, then look for the source. What is the source of this? Is it that is the root cause? As in, is it this family thing? Unajua kuna zile zinatokana na damu. So you have to deal with it from the damu point of view. Kuna zile ziko created kwa sababu ya peer pressure. Kuna two friends amekuwa nao. Kwa hivyo lazima ujue.
There's also another that is being created nowadays by the house girls.
Yeah, I like that.
Wewe unachia nini? Not all of them. House girls is saying what? Some.
Yes.
So unaacha mtoto wako na mfanyikazi. Anamishate into sex. So this boy doesn't talk. So when the moment now he's going to be bigger and now he is into sex, now it becomes like an addiction.
Oh yeah. Oh, so you're talking about somebody growing. I was imagining the husband.
Not the husband, somebody growing. So now we come to the husband.
Yes.
If this husband now was initiated into sex and he grew loving it, now when he marries you, don't you think it is still going to affect your marriage?
Yeah.
Until now you see a therapist.
Yes.
Because some things you to realize where, like you are saying, the crossroad. Where did it begin? So then I can go look for professional help. So that can stop.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so those are some of the things that would mostly let them drift into this again. Yeah, but otherwise, you know, there are people also whom akifanya kitu kama hiyo huwa inamsaidia sana kubadilika, as in ameifanya na kaona what has happened. Anaweza change kwa sababu anaona he doesn't want to hurt somebody, doesn't want to make somebody feel bad, you know, especially those people who love. You know, if you love somebody, it means you can sacrifice for them. And if you see that there's something that is making you not sacrifice for these people, you'd want to really do away with it. And that's why the word of God still tells us that ukiona ni mkono itafanya usiende kumuona Mungu. Wachana na mkono hapa. Tupa kabisa, alafu baki peke yako na mkono moja, uende ukamuone Mungu. So there are those people who will change because they don't want to hurt somebody. Now that is now love that we are talking about. Na vile mama Sarah pia alikuwa anasema kuna wale ambao hata akifanya kitu kama yeye anaona it's very normal. Vile watu wamezoea kusema a man is polygamous in nature. Yeah, kwa hivyo anasema kwani kuna shida wapi? So those kind of people, I tell you, that is the blood thing that we are talking about. Haumtoi hapo kwa haraka. Kwa hivyo if you have such a person, then you have to know how to deal with him. Because unajua hauta jump into this na ukamtoa huko. In fact, anaweza kukuletea mwingine na kuambia sasa tuone utataka kufanya nini. Unaona? So, but if you're somebody who really knows where this thing is coming from, that is why I was saying, whenever unaona kuna kitu inatokea, tafuta sana kujua. How am I going to handle it? Don't just jump into it. Because, and that is why it's also coming back to the friend thing. We were saying like friends, they'll always tell you what is pleasing you. Kwa hivyo mtu atakwambia, wamekufanyia hivi, umefanya nini hapo bado? Hebu toka umeenda. No, I think that's not a solution. The solution is with you. Wewe ambaye unajua ni nani unaishi naye and how much have you been into this and do you think you can help him?
Yes. Kuna sasa I think watazamaji, I hope that wale ambao walikuwa wametuma maswali mmeweza kupata ushauri 1, 2, 3 about the same, and I hope that is going to help you and it will not destroy your marriage. You found your partner cheating. How should you deal with it? Iwe mwanamke au mwanamume, because some people will deal with it in a way that it will destroy the whole thing.
First, absorb the shock. Because actually it is very shocking. And you have found him. You know, you have used the word found, kumaanisha umempata kwa the act. That is shock number 1. So absorb it. Then sober up. And
naweza kuwa wazimu na
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Usikuwe wazimu. Absorb the shock. Because if you act in anger, wakati umempata tu hivyo, you know you can do anything. You can kill. You can kill.
It's the worst.
And it's the worst. So instead of killing God's creature, because haukumuumba, you absorb the shock.
So it means you must be having shock absorbers.
Yes, you must have them, I tell you. And it is not easy. It is not easy.
Yeah.
So when you first absorb the shock of the act, umempata naye, I would advise don't even talk to this gentleman, because hata ukimwambia right there, atasema sio mimi, they are men. Ama they are women. Sio mimi. And umempata in the act. Instead of arguing so much with him, just walk, go to wherever you are going, and sit down and relax.
Kama hapo ni kwangu.
Kama ni kwako, umpata kwako. Ukimpata kwako, the first thing is, again, do not overreact.
Niende jikoni.
Odoka tu. Kama mwanamke mjiga. Do you know why I'm saying this? If you overreact or react because umpata kwako, the first thing you might do is taking a knife and you chop off 2 people. So you kill 2 people. Ukiwa hawa watu, uende uishi jela, what is the benefit?
Na maybe uko na watoto.
Ama wakuue. Unajua it's always funny because you can come with a knife
and they overpower you.
Na kwa sababu wanajiprotect, yes.
So they overpower you. So you know you cannot solve violence with the violence, yeah? That's what I'm saying. Umeona and relax. Ngoja waendelee. Kama umewapata hapo, of course najua hataendelea, simewashikia tu hivi. So wataanza kuvaa nguo, you know they were not expecting somebody to come. So wataanza kuvaa nguo haraka kwa sababu wanajua hii ni dhambi na ni makosa. Tunafanya nini? Tunafanya. Wenda mngojea wapi? Nyumbani. And I know you are fuming. Umekasirika sana. Akikuja na him, he is in shame. So uliwaona. So he doesn't know where to begin. Or where to begin. Start the conversation because everything is about conversation. Everything is about communication. And talk. And talk and talk and talk. And I'm sure where the talking is going to lead, when you uliwapata, you still have the solution. Because you are the one who is cheated on. So you are the one to decide, do I walk away from this marriage or do I forgive and you move on? You get? So when you decide to see and not to act, you're going to save so many things. Because sasa mwenye amempata akaua the woman atiabaki na bwana, you are going to land in jail and now you leave them, you give them the freedom. Sindio?
Look for another one.
You give them the freedom. Ukimua umempatia freedom nae aende tafuta mwingine kwa sababu uko jela. And could be this man had just gone for the first time. Na ukimforgive si ataacha. It will be a turning point. So when you find them cheating, do not take a knife or a machete. Just cool down and then look for the right time and place to talk it out. You solve your issues. Let me bring something biblical kidogo. The Samaritan woman had how many husbands?
5.
Well, even Jesus told her, even you mwenye mko naye najua sio nini? Sio wako. Ede watane na yeye. What does that tell us? That anything can be forgiven. So just relax. It is hard to relax and talk and then look for a solution. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's, I don't know, it's something that you can't really describe. I even don't know what to do at that point. But I think in the mix of everything, you should get the right thing. You should try to sober up very fast because at that point, I know you're not sober.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is to think on to how you are going to sober up. And najua unaweza baki hapo umesimama for some time kwa sababu hujui ufanye nini. Na in the process, maybe these people will be leaving and they'll leave you there. It would even be better. Or kama hao pia wameshtuliwa na wamebaki penye wako, I think it is your time to take a walk. Yeah, as I was saying, maybe it is in your home. So what you need to do is just take a walk. Na hata ikiwezekana, go to a place where you can talk to somebody, maybe on a different subject. Isiwe penye unaenda kuanza that discussion. Because najua ukianza kuiongelea utarudi. So what you need to do, go to a place. Enda hata kumtu wa duka. Ni kama unaenda kununua kitu na kama ni mtu umezoeana na yeye muanze kuongea.
Ama itisha kasoda
kunywa tu mkipiga story. Ama ingia tu penye wamama wanaongea hapo uendelee kuongea because ujue na usiongelee hilo jambo please. Because if you start talking about it na ikaanguka kwa the ears of these ladies watatoka na wewe. Watafunga maleso na tuandamane mpaka kwako waende wa smoke out hawa watu. So what you need to do in this place is try to really sober up first. And sobering up means maybe that environment will not be very conducive for you. Maybe you can just take a walk as I'm saying, go to a different place. Na pia usiende mbali sana because I know as you'll be walking pengine kuna mambo itakuwa inaendelea kwa mawazo yako. So don't go very far, but please find where people are busy doing things so that you can concentrate on what they are doing na usahau kile ambacho kimehappen kwa sababu vile Sarah alikuwa anasema hakuna dhambi iwezi samehewa and we might not know what was happening in that place. Maybe this person has been drugged. Maybe this person amekuwa charmed. Amewekewa charms. Because I know the era we are living in is not a place where you start by just judging somebody. There are so many things that are happening. And so you'll find that ukisoba pata vizuri utapata pengine wewe ndio shida. Maybe you discuss now utapata mtu mwenye pengine ako na yeye is somebody who is a friend somebody who has been very close. Maybe you've been sharing with this person your problems na take advantage. Na because anajua kuna kitu anaweza fanya, akafanya haraka. So please, before you get into maybe taking action, there's something you can do. And I said, start by just sobering up. Vile Sarah alituambia, the shock absorbers uzivae. Alafu sasa ukishazivaa, just take a walk. Let them do what they want to do for them. We were told of a story where the husband alienda na akapata this was a woman. Akapata in the act, mtu alimuita na akawaangalia tu na akawasalimia. Habari yenu huko? Sema mzuri. Nasema haya, sawa. Na akarudi zake nyumbani. Kafika nyumbani akatengeneza chakula, watoto wakakula. By the time this lady was coming, ni kama amenyeshewa. Anapata wanacheza na watoto. Kaingia anapata chakula wamemwekea hapo. She got in the bedroom, she got stuck there, hata vile atoke ikamshinda. Ikaendelea hivyo the first day mpaka 1 week. After 1 week, yeye mwenyewe alifunga vitu yake yote na akaenda. Kuna mtu alimuongelesha. So you know, sometimes some of these things you easily just deal with them like that, because ukijaribu kufanya kitu utapatikana wewe ndio una makosa, because chenye wacha nikwambie kitu, what was happening there, shetani alikusudia kwamba uione, na lengo lake ilikuwa ni kwamba akudestroy wewe. So before the devil gets what he wanted, please don't allow him. Unasikia? So the thing is, don't react, because that is what the devil really wanted you to do. I will not react, I'll just let it be. Tuone shetani atafanya nini, yeye mwenyewe atajinyonga. You see? So if there is anybody who was in the wrong there, hao watu ndio utapata wanatoroka, si wewe. But ukijipata wewe ndio una react, utapata umefanya kitu kibaya na wewe ndio utakuwa in the run, that is what the devil wanted. So don't give the devil what he wants. Please make sure that you be sober.
Sometimes the end product of cheating might be a child, because everyone knows that when two adults have sex, the product can be a child. In case there's a child involved in this scenario, in this situation, how should the other partner handle this issue?
No, the child, case of cheating. And meaning that if a child has come, it could be the relationship has been going for a long time. So that even a child is born.
Sometimes that ina happen once and mtoto ametokea. Sasa unaletewa tu mtoto.
Utalea tu. The child has got no sin in this. Because the child did not even know he is going to be born out of wedlock. Again, it is not easy. But if you want your marriage to be intact, na umeletewa, si lazima utalea. Na ulee bila kutesa mtoto, kwa sababu mtoto hana nini? Makosa. Hana makosa, hana hatia. Ni kama tu huyo wako. But now this end product of a child, you know, I want to get into this. You know, you come from different cultures, and there are those cultures that believe if my husband goes out and says children now, na walete nitawalea. That is normal. So there's this other culture whereby they believe wewe ukienda nje na uzae akae wapi? Huko, sitaki kumuona. Bana najua huyu child, this product can be walilala, mtoto akakuja, sasa unakuja unadampiwa. Sidio? Ndio nasema huyu fanya nini? Lea. As far as ume decide kustick kwa huyu na ujue labda ukiletewa anataka wewe uondoke ili na yeye aingie, na pia wale wengine yako na wao. Hapo sasa ndipo tunahitaji wisdom, a lot of wisdom. So we talked about forgiving. We talked about forgiving. Women, we need to be wise, because hatujui whether huyu mtoto it is just your circumstance. Tunaongelea circumstances, because you can be drugged, sleep with somebody, even haujui. Alafu unakuja unaambia mtoto ni wako, na for sure hata ujui that act took place, ndio? Ama hizo charms. And then utaamini ukiangalia huyo mtoto umeletewa akipua ni la baba. Ndio utaamini. But baba hajui there is that anything happened. So kama bado mnapendana, lea huyu mtoto. Tunasema mtoto hana hatia, yeye amejipata tu a product that came out of cheating because of the various circumstances.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
It's tricky.
Yeah, when a child is there, because every time everybody, wacha hata nyinyi tu, nyinyi mnaweza amua, because you know you love each other and you can sacrifice for each other. But the problem will be the outside force, you know. Kwa sababu every time everybody looks at that child, na utapata hiyo kitu imeland kwa masikio ya mtoto. So I think when I'm talking like this, I'm like, si tuachane tu na vitu zingine, because now what led us to go there? Mtoto anaweza suffer sana, na ni kwa sababu ya two adults ambao wangejizuia hatungefika penye tumefika. So please, some of these things just let it be. Kwa sababu sasa why should we even go there? Because sioni nyinyi wawili, unajua nyinyi mtaongea mkaelewana na mkasema mtoto after all, because mtu anaokotanga hata mtoto huko nje analeta, mnalea tu. Ama tunakonga kwa nyumba hivi na mtu ameenda amepata mtoto kwa wenyewe na ameleta hapa, na wanasema kabisa mtoto mapua ni kama ya baba vile unasema, na si wako, na unamlea knowingly akagrow hapo kwako. So Mungu tu ndiye anajua. So God knows so many of these things that we even don't know. Ile tu yenye sasa imepatikana kama hiyo ndio inakuwa ni makosa. That's why I'm saying, why should we even get there? So please, before I even want to talk about this, I'm like, please, there are things we can avoid. Kwa sababu whatever we do huwa inaweza kutuaffect to some point, lakini ina affect watu wengine zaidi. Kwa sababu mtoto kama huyu sasa utapata hata atalelewa vizuri kwa hii boma akawa mtoto wa hapa, lakini siku nyingine mtu atakuja kumwambia, ama baba mwenyewe tena atajiletanisha hapo aseme umejua wewe ni mtoto wangu. Na kweli tujiangalia, na umejua kuna kuweka na kabond kati ya baba na mtoto. So hiyo bond utafanya aje? Sasa mtoto hata akienda pengine kujaribu kukaa kule inakuwa ngumu. Huku sasa pia naona si wa hapa. So you see, the problem started with somebody who did this. So why should we even go there? Kwa hivyo mtoto akipatikana, yes, it's something that will come kama mmeamua kufanya, because once you do a wrong thing there's always a price to pay for it. For the two of you, sasa itabidi vile umesamehewa lazima uende uongee na huyu mwenzako, umwambie sasa at the end of the day tuko na mtoto ndio huyu, so that we talk about it and we see how we are going to raise this. Maana vile Sarah amesema huyu mtoto hana hatia na tutampeleka wapi? Hana parents wengine. Ule hit and run alienda, si ndio? Sasa wamekuachanisha hapo na mtoto. Unapata inakuwa ni vigumu sana vile watamlea. Ama kama ni ule mtoto amerudishwa, pengine mama yake amemzaa akamleta kwa baba. Yes. Kwa hivyo akishaletwa hapa, najua in those circumstances in our African setup, tunajua huyo kama huyo anakubalika haraka, maana ni mtoto wetu. But when it comes to the woman now, the woman wewe uko na shida. Kwa sababu sasa kama wewe ndio umeleta mtoto kumblend na watoto wengine inakuwa ngumu, because it's like everybody doesn't want that child. Hata kama mume wako atamkubali, the bigger family, you'll find that the child is unaccepted. Na vile anakuwa unaccepted inakuwa ni issue sana. Ifike mahali pengine hata huyo mama akufe. Unajua mtoto anaweza pitia mateso sana. So that's why I'm saying there are things we need. Kwanza women, please let us not just go there. Hata kama mtu ana cheat, wewe wachana na yeye cheat huko, because wewe ukijaribu you'll be bringing something that imagine. Hata kama umekufa bado, because I know there is how we can get an experience of the living world. So you can be seeing that child akipitia mateso. I don't think you'll be at peace. So please, for women, we are not going there, and even for men, please, because najua mwanamke hawezi jipatia mtoto. So why come to this woman if you know you can't take responsibility? And even if mke wa mtu unaenda huko kufanya, na wewe mke wa mtu unaenda wapi? I think this thing, the whole thing should not just be there.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't.
Asante Sarah. Thank you so much, Irene and Sarah Murithi, for that. And thank you to our viewers for sticking with us. You're watching Maisha Prime Women Talk, where real women engage. And this is definitely the award-winning TV station, Maisha Television Kenya. Continue engaging with us. Send your questions. We'll tackle them in our next program. Our social media pages, we have Facebook, YouTube, Maisha Television Kenya, Instagram and Twitter at Maisha TV KE. You can also text, call, or you can WhatsApp our phone number, which is 0746 999 841. Until next time, enjoy the rest of the broadcast.